It is the tipping point with Mike Tipton, and I was promised some karaoke. Let's get at it.
It's the tipping point. It's the tipping point. It's the tipping point.
I thought it was going to be better
With
than
Mike
that.
Tipton talking sports.
Excellent. There we go. I like it.
I told you it wasn't going to be great.
I mean, no, it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram. We are live on Twitter, Twitch, all over the place. It is the tipping point with Mike Tipton. I got my guy, Travis Stoner, hanging out with me. We have been tearing up Kansas City, painting it some sort of shade of beige, I want to say. And Travis, you got to experience the NFL draft for the first time yesterday. You got to see the massive humanity that was out there. Everybody, if you are tuned in, I would love to see the thoughts that you have about your favorite NFL team, anything like that you got going on. Who picked who? If you're happy with who they picked, blah 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 blah. Me, not so much going to talk about the draft because Travis, I don't know if I told you this or not. I don't care about the NFL draft. I just like being around for the experience.
The draft is the biggest crapshoot there is.
Yeah.
You've seen first-round picks become superstars. You've seen first-round picks become super stinks.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's like none of us have any idea. You saw Tom Brady be the last pick of the 6th round to become the greatest football player of all time until eventually Patrick Mahomes usurps him and becomes. I mean, he's obviously fucking Patrick Mahomes, right? So I don't want you to argue with me on that too. Like the man crush I've had on Patrick Mahomes goes further back than before he committed to Texas Tech.
You said something to me yesterday as we were walking around. You said, "I never thought I would say this. I think I've seen too many Patrick Mahomes jerseys."
Yeah, I mean, it was just an ungodly amount of Patrick Mahomes jerseys that everybody had just like walking around the whole thing. Like I'm like, there's been more. Like you can have Travis Kelce, you could have had like even Tyreek Hill because he hasn't been gone that long. Fucking Isaiah Pacheco, I never saw any of those jerseys. Like, there's so many. Like Derek Thomas, I think I saw one of those. You could have had just anybody, right? Like where the hell were the like Tony Gonzalez jerseys at? Everybody has a Patrick Mahomes jersey.
But like I said, you have to realize that this is a city that has wanted a quarterback. Kansas City is a tough fan base for quarterbacks.
Why?
If we like you, if you're doing great, we like you. We love you. You are embraced. As soon as, look at a guy like Trent Green. Laugh all you want. Trent Green put up numbers.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so you and I grew up in a different time, right? I realized even though you look much older than me, you're younger than I am. I'm aging like fine wine. You're aging like a loaf of bread. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, my guy.
Organically made too. Like I've got a 2-week shelf life at best.
But we both grew up in like a weird time, right? Like Kansas City was like that team that would always make it to the playoffs, maybe miss a season, make it a couple of times,
and then the Colts
get bounced
every
out,
single
right?
year.
The Colts and the Patriots,
that
right?
Was the
like,
90s.
Oh my god,
that was the 90s Chiefs era.
And you guys had like Trent Green, and Trent Green was serviceable for you guys.
Absolutely.
And then after Trent Green left, it was like they just completely fell off.
But
and then Alex Smith revives the franchise. You guys draft Patrick Mahomes at 10, and then boom.
But I will say, those guys, as great as Alex Smith was, as great as Trent Green was in Kansas City, as soon as they started slipping, the city gets hard on our quarterbacks. And
Ruli's saying on the Instagram feed that he's a Cowboys fan. His opinion doesn't count. Of course it does. I actually said
we saw 27 Cowboys jerseys or apparel yesterday.
I was surprised.
They were represented.
Yeah. But I've said this 1,000 times, and like maybe being from Kansas City, you're going to hate me for saying this, right? If not for the city of Dallas, the Kansas City Chiefs would not exist. Therefore, any success the Kansas City Chiefs has comes over to Dallas, because if not for the Cowboys existing, the Texans would have never become the Kansas City Chiefs. Therefore, those Super Bowls are also our Super Bowls. Ipso facto, we have 8 Super Bowls.
So we will drive 20 minutes as soon as this is over. We will go to Arrowhead, and we'll see where the Prescott Road Trophy is.
That hurt. That was unnecessary. I feel like none of that should have been said. Why would you say something like that?
I'm just saying, it's part of the fan experience. It's in the Chiefs Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So earlier today, like yesterday, we were surrounded by, once again, just a massive humanity. And it was just too much, right? Like I don't like being around a whole bunch of people. Like I'm already that type of person. I'm not a very touchy-feely type of person. It was
you, me, and 375,000 of our closest friends.
There was more. There was more. Like hands down, there was more. Like ESPN did one shot where they just showed everybody, like it was an aerial shot. Last year in Vegas, they had over 750,000 people, on the strip doing all that stuff. I feel like there had to have been more. I saw more people during the fan experience, and like there's so much more space than what Vegas had. I saw so many people there that there had to be at least 1 million.
That North Lawn alone holds about 4 to 500,000. And like I said,
That's insane.
At 6:30 yesterday, I got a message saying North Lawn at capacity.
Yeah,
and that doesn't count all the stuff that was in the lower part around the fountain. That doesn't count the theater. That doesn't count anything in the outskirts of that. Yeah. Ton.
And like it's insane, man. Like I went today before anybody showed up. I'm taking pictures. I wanted to see the Lombardi Trophy, and somebody asked me because they see me taking pictures, like, would you like to take a picture with the Lombardi Trophy? And I said, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm not allowed to get this close to it.
I've got proof.
Whoa, hey, whoa there, guy. Like you'll never hold it, but at least you've seen it, right? I saw them win 3 Super. So okay, I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay,
right? And you already know how my show goes. It's all over the place. There's zero structure to this. I just know what I want to talk about, and I'll get there eventually. But I have a couple of friends, James Steele, Pat Costello, producers at ESPN in Bristol, Connecticut, and we have a show, Bob, Jim, and Pat Get Drunk on the Internet, and they were talking shit to me yesterday. That's the closest you'll get as a Cowboys fan to seeing your team win a Super Bowl. You've
seen it.
I've seen it happen 3 times before I was 11 years old, right? Like, so I don't feel the need of, like, why you're dumping on me, because Pat's an Eagles fan. James is a Chiefs fan. James had to wait his entire life to see his team win a Super Bowl. The same thing with Pat, right?
Yeah.
I saw 3. So collectively in their lifetime, they've seen as many as I have combined.
Look, nobody wants to talk numbers right now.
No, I'm just saying, like, how are you going to talk shit to somebody? Like it's strange to me, man. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that.
But is that not what makes football football?
See, I'm like a super. I don't know if I've ever told you this or not, but I love basketball more than I love football, right? Which is like sacrilege for a Texan. But I'm the type of person where I love just seeing my friends' team succeed, right? So whenever the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I was up in Bristol, Connecticut, producing a show, getting ready for what was going to happen after, right? Like the post-Super Bowl show on ESPN National. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my friends. 3 of them are in there and they're Philadelphia Eagles fans. And you just see the look on their face as the clock is like getting down. They realize, oh my God, we're going to win this game, right? That to me is like, that's so much fun, man. Like you're watching your friends' dreams come true. James being a Kansas City Chiefs fan, I was thinking about the Chiefs whenever the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, right? Like, I love seeing my friends be happy, but me being a Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm obviously, public enemy number 1 for whatever effing reason, man. Like the Patriots have had so much more success, but you see a Cowboys fan, you're like, fuck that guy.
You're
like, yeah.
I won't say no. I won't contradict that. No, I think, look, everybody wants to have problems with a dynasty.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And again, I feel like that's what makes football football.
And the funny thing
is that there's so much. There's been how many dynasty rotations have you and I seen in our lifetime?
2.
But I feel like we're emerging. There's I think we're going to keep seeing that. I think that's
I think we're seeing the dynasty now with the Chiefs.
I think you're saying. I think the 2 you want to talk about is going to be it's Dallas and New England.
Yeah, those are the only 2. Like, as far as I'm concerned, Pat Costello, he just missed my beautiful, like, I love seeing my friends be happy, and then hits me with a Cowboys suck. in our group chat that we have,
Mike,
our Bob, Jim, and Pat group chat.
You love seeing your friends happy. Pat loves this shit all over you.
I mean, sometimes people got to pay extra for that sometimes, but, I'm good with it. If Pat wants to shit on me, I'm good with it. But, I mean, obviously he's got to pay. Yeah. But he said earlier in our group chat that if he was ever caught dead or caught in a Cowboys jersey, to just kill him and bury him under a trampoline. I said if that happens, I will find where he is buried at and I will exhume him and I will put him on permanent display just in my house. Like as his body decays, it'll be in my house, the morbid smell of it all, and I will have an Eagles fan wearing a Cowboys jersey display for the rest of eternity.
I thought you were just going to jump with the corpse on the trampoline.
No, I don't like trampolines. Actually, I'm afraid of heights. So me and trampolines, we don't get together, man.
7 feet and above is just, it makes you uncomfortable.
So if you want to hear something really weird about like
Shaq comes in, puts you on his shoulders, you're just like, nope, this is too much.
No, I might have an orgasm, but So, so like back in the day, whenever I played basketball, right? Like I'm only 5'10", but I was able to actually jump up, grab the rim. Never really able to dunk, right?
The game you play is 6'8".
No, come on. The game I play is 7'9". I was Steph Curry before there was a Steph Curry. But like I would jump up, I would grab the rim, right? I would hold on to the rim, and as I like looked down, I was like, I actually have to let go of this, and like that would terrify me, man. So I was like, I'm not ever going to do this again.
Let's just do some like back of the napkin math, right? Okay, you're 5'10".
Yeah.
Let's just add a
I have a long wingspan.
let's add a conservative 1.5 foot there.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets us to 6'6".
Yeah.
So you were afraid to drop.
Like 2 feet. Yes, I get it. Okay. But I mean, it would be that thing. Like I would let go and I would just feel my stomach go up.
42 inches. Like
that's a lot, dude.
That's like minimum for any carnival ride.
That's a lot, right? Like again, afraid of heights. I'm not going to defend myself here. You can make fun of me all you want, but the simple fact is that I could not do it, man. Finally, somebody giving me a little bit of love here from back in the day. My dude Ruli's remembering me from back in high school, saying Tip was actually a great basketball player, super skinny back in the day with a little bit of an afro. I actually had a dude. I don't know if he remembers or not, but I actually one year cornrowed my hair and dyed it blonde because it was the 90s and 2000s, and who the fuck didn't do that, right? Like I was that guy.
Thank you, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I mean, it was my thing, man. Shout out to my dude Rulies for remembering that. I used to be good at basketball.
Last night, you and I did go down like a weird, like high school, like.
Oh, I saw high school. Have you seen? You obviously Daniela's wife. This isn't great radio, but she's like sitting over here. She's seen high school Travis. It is embarrassing, man.
I was a Backstreet Boy, man.
You 100% was. He even had the pose. He had like the whole. Like the lined up perfectly, beard about that thin.
Yeah,
but he looked good.
I had the sweet starter stash because I hadn't shaved like 4 days before that picture.
Dude, I think I told you that. Like, so my voice changed when I was 10 years old, right? And I had to shave every day whenever I was 13. If I shave, my 5 o'clock shadow basically looks like what you have right now.
I trimmed this up today.
Whoa there, guy with a big peepee.
Easy.
Yeah, obviously he's got the biggest peepee in all the land.
All of the land.
All of the land. Ruli's saying that I look like Slim Shady. He might be one of the few people that remembers what I used to look like when I had the blonde hair. Destiny's saying that I'm still a great basketball player, schooling Minnie, and she's got to witness it. That's the best thing about me, dude, is like I don't look like I play sports anymore. But you get me on a basketball court, that shot never broken.
She's seen you play against the kids.
No.
No. Okay, so let's talk basketball shots because our conversation with her last night. Okay. I want to let you know, last night when you and I parted ways,
you went to a basketball court.
I went to a basketball court, and we discussed underhand free throws versus overhand.
Stupid.
Made every single one of my underhand.
Stupid.
Every single one last night.
I refuse to believe that.
I made every one.
I refuse.
You know how many I made overhand? 14.
After this is done, I will get the camera. We will go to a park, and we will go 1 for 1. I've got no problems with this, and we will see who makes more damn shots. You can do your underhand free throws all you want. Did you witness this, Danielle? Did that happen? Him shooting free throws? I feel like he's telling you to say yes. I can see it down here. I've got great vision, man. I see everything.
It's a teacher in you.
That's a former military person. I mean, by the way, no one knows I'm a teacher, so don't say that.
Teacher of life.
Yes, a teacher, an educator of philosophy and just normal thoughts of human beings.
I've learned more hanging out with you in a day and a half than I in all 17 years of college.
I was about to say, I'm surprised you didn't. Like yesterday, whenever I said that I was adopted, your mind just blew up. It was insane to see that, man.
You, sir, are an onion that I would love to peel.
Phrasing?
Possibly.
Daddy, chill.
Again, won't say no.
Okay, so I got my dude Steven Metaludis in here asking us a couple of questions here. He said he's going to an Arizona Rattlers football game. I have no idea what that is. And then asking us about the Rattlers and Tulsa Oilers football.
Yes, let's talk about
in his I will talk about some obscure shit. I've got no clue, my guy. None. I've got absolutely nothing.
based on personal beliefs and how I just
Okay.
strongly feel against the state of Oklahoma.
So
I'm going to root for the Rattlers.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my mom was from Oklahoma, so thank you for insulting my mother. That's a great thing that you just did right there. Rest in peace, Mom. I miss you.
I think my dad was born there.
Oh wow. Okay, well I can't talk shit now.
Maybe.
God damn it! I've been disarmed. So Melissa Stevenson asking what this beer is. I know it is a purple pineapple beer. I don't know the actual name of it. We are over here. I haven't given them any love yet. We are over here at Servaes, even though it's not spelled like Servaes. It is Servaes. It's a great locally owned brewery here in Kansas City, Missouri, or I guess Overland Park.
No, we are in Shawnee.
Shawnee?
Yes, Shawnee, Kansas.
Wow, my mother was born in Shawnee, Oklahoma.
Oh, well,
Yeah, look at that. You know, life all about circles.
10921 Johnson Drive, Shawnee, Kansas.
Yeah, so we've got Servaes Brewing Company here. Awesome atmosphere, awesome vibe that they got going on. I tried one of their lagers that they had earlier, and then now I got the purple pineapple beer. And this is where I'm going to lose a lot of respect from not just you, but from Danielle. I like lighter beers like that. Like, I love stouts. Like, I can handle my stouts. I can do my thing. But, like, these lighter beers that have just so much flavor where it kind of explodes in your mouth. Once again, phrasing. That's where, like, that's what I'm about, dude. Like, I love those lighter beers, not because, like, you know, I'm watching my figure. Obviously, like, look at me, right? I'm a fucking monster. But, like, I love the way that the flavor pops. And that's like the thing that I'm really looking forward to in this beer. And, like, it's actually really amazing.
So this is what I'll say. Mikey, who we're going to have on a little bit.
Yes.
And Danielle, they are a strange breed. They will drink the darkest, heaviest beer on the hottest possible days.
And you know what? I'm good with that, dude, because, like, I love dark beers. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I love the, like, stouts, dude. You give me as many stouts as possible. I'm a happy man. Three Missions Brewery at 10179 Socorro Road down in El Paso, Texas, my neck of the woods, Socorro, Texas, that helps sponsor the show and do all the stuff that we're doing over here. They actually have an amazing stout, the Churro Stout. And to me, like, that's one of the best beers, like, just the way the flavor is, man. Like, that, like, I absolutely love that beer, dark beers. But I'm not going to lie, man, this purple pineapple, it slaps. It might be one of my favorite beers. It might be like a top 5 beer of all time.
It is a good. It's what brings them in.
Look, bitch, don't you judge me at all, okay? I see that you're looking up the Arizona Rattlers right now. Out of all the things to look up, the Arizona Rattlers.
Look, I will go down a rabbit hole.
Okay, so what have we found out about the Arizona Rattlers? Because I believe that they have to be.
They're an arena football team.
Who the fuck watches arena football? Steven Metaluta, like, I'm sorry, my dude. I don't mean to shit on what you like. People like different things, right? But who watches arena football?
Arena football and indoor soccer have to be two of the toughest sports. Like, just so much damn cardio.
Should I break the fourth wall? I don't want to do it. Really, I'm not, like, I love that message. I wish I was there, because there would have been zero opportunity of any of them defeating us, because, once again, the shot never breaks, right? But I will not mention what I do outside of what I do here, because I cannot break that wall. I apologize, my guy. Just know that your son would have gotten the work. He would have gotten the business. Game over. Like, it wouldn't have been, it would not have been pretty. Kids would have gone home crying is all I'm going to say right now. Our friend Millie Stevenson saying the next time that she's in Kansas City, she's going to have to come out and try it. Hey, 100%. I don't want to be the type of guy that mentions other places that I've been at, but I've got to give a little bit of love to Kansas City, because this is my first time out here, right? So going over to Boulevard Brewing, that was absolutely amazing. I went out there a little bit earlier today, parked, just, you know, the $20 parking with the 2 beer vouchers, you're not going to beat that. So I went and did the stuff that I did, got to see the Motley Crue sound check that they were doing before the NFL draft, and then had my couple of beers, great beers there too, right? Absolutely. Great atmosphere. But where we are right now here at Servaes, this is the type of atmosphere that I love with, like, my breweries, man. I love the smaller feel to where it's not such a corporate type thing that's going on right here. You can feel the passion, the love that they have. You see the community coming out here and like enjoying the beer that they have. And that to me is like what craft beer really is about. So Millie, yes, come on out here to Servaes. The address is 10921 Johnson Drive in Shawnee, Kansas, 66203. And it's not spelled like Servaes.
No.
I was racking my brain because this guy didn't tell me what it was spelled or, like, how to sound it out until later.
In parentheses.
Yeah,
every time.
There was no phonetically speaking going on right here. It is Servaes.
Yes.
That does not sound like service to me,
So-
but I am with it.
So that's Courtney is the owner here, and that's her last name.
Ooh. Sorry, Courtney. Please do not. I'm sorry for everything. Is she here?
I haven't seen her yet.
Oh, sad. We are expecting to have Mikey come on and join us a little bit later. Mikey from Austin. They're busy though, so he might not join us.
It is day 2 of their 2-year anniversary.
Excellent.
New beers out. You know, they've got the Barrel Age series, and then they've got a Dear Shawnee series.
Dear Shawnee. Sounds like a book I need to write. Stephen Metaludis asking us finally a question about real sports here. Who will win Game 6 tonight between the Warriors and Kings? Game 6 in San Francisco, Golden State at home. Golden State cannot win on the road. Sacramento can't win on the road. So I'm going to say Golden State is going to win that game at home because that's just the way that everything goes right there. Our guy, Stephen Puga, finally asking me something about the NFL draft here. How do you feel about the Cowboys pick from last night? I, for one, and I actually told you this, Travis, I love that pick. To me, anytime that you can pick somebody that you need, that like you address that need. Everybody saw it with the Dallas Cowboys last year, especially in that playoff game. Before their defensive tackle gets hurt, they're holding the San Francisco 49ers to 17 yards in the first half. The most explosive rush offense in the NFL outside of maybe Philadelphia. They're holding them down to 17 yards in the first half. Third play of the third quarter. Their defensive tackle, their starting defensive tackle gets hurt. They have to, try to find a guy to get in there. A backup in the NFL, the gulf between that is like there's no comparison, right?
Right.
Like it's going from A all the way down to Z. That's the difference in it. So the Dallas Cowboys going out there, picking a guy at a position that they need. That, to me, was such a smart draft pick by the Dallas Cowboys. And then looking at his video, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't watch a lot of college football, right? Seeing the video, seeing the stuff that he does, the dude just clogs up the middle. He's a tackling machine. Reminds me a lot of like a Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, like, that's the type of guy that you need on that defensive line. The Dallas Cowboys defense is phenomenal. Now you've addressed the one issue that they had, which was just running the ball straight up the middle. Well, now they've got an actual legitimate shot, and they can stop the run.
Well, and to that, and that's what we talked about earlier is look at what Detroit did.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit shopped for what they needed. Were there better picks available? Absolutely. Could they have gotten anything else? Absolutely. But you want to make a recipe? You want to go home and you want to cook something?
Mm-hmm.
You got to have all the ingredients.
Yep.
You don't have it, you don't have it. You can't make it.
And that's the main thing, right? Like, you can go out and get the sexy pick, which the Dallas Cowboys have been guilty of doing in the past, right? Like, this is the pick that's going to make the fans happy with us. I think Kansas City last night drafting like the local boy. Right?
Yeah.
Like that.
So.
They don't necessarily need a bunch of wide receivers. You go out and you get whoever you can. But I feel like they could have done better. They could have addressed something as opposed to trying to make the fans happy. People need to realize this about sports, and this is something I've realized a long time ago when it comes to sports. Your favorite sports team does not care about you. You can die at the stadium, and they would not give a flying fuck whether or not you died at the stadium, right? They'll be like, oh, that sucks. Here's a couple of dollars now. Go on your merry little way, family of the survivor, right? Like, but they don't care. Like, it's strictly a transactional, one-sided transactional relationship. So watching the team, and whenever the team finally says, look, we're not going to do what the fans want us to do. We're going to do this because this is a smart football move, basketball, baseball, whatever. I like seeing that because you're not placating to the fans and hurting the team, because I think that's what the Cowboys did for so long was let's try to make the fans happy, and then it's just been a shit show since.
You want heartbreak?
Oh, no.
No, this isn't from my personal experience. Well, no.
I know that Danielle has not broken your heart. You will not besmirch her good name.
But, we talked about last night. Kansas on the Kansas side, you can sports bet.
Yeah.
There's a geofence. We can go 6 miles that way and not be able to, or we can go 6 minutes that way and not be able to bet. And you want real heartbreak? Bet on your favorite teams every time.
Oh, yeah, no. See, I don't do that, right? Like, I love gambling on illegal websites because at the end of the day, I will always be a degenerate. But I will never bet on the Cowboys. I'll never bet on the Spurs, and I will never bet on the Yankees because I cannot, for the life of me, be the person that bet on my team just to watch them let me down. Like, that's always my biggest issue is like the Cowboys could be in the Super Bowl. And I'd say, I'm going to bet on the
Say
Dallas Cowboys.
no.
And then they would lose the damn Super Bowl. And luckily for me, like in my lifetime, I've never got to witness my team lose a Super Bowl because I feel like that would be the epitome of heartbreak, right? Like you've got to like, I'd rather not make, I would rather go 0-17 than lose in the Super Bowl.
You know, something to be said about that, though. You still make it.
So I get that. I get where people say that. There's one winner. Did you see the press conference following the Miami Heat, the 8 versus the 1, where the Miami Heat upset the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yes.
Right? And they asked Giannis Antetokounmpo, how do you feel about losing this game? Does it feel like the season was a letdown for you? Giannis answers it so eloquently and like so beautifully, only the way that he can in his second language, being able to
But
like
slightly
do this
angry.
stuff. Oh, 100%
Like,
angry.
don't ask me
right?
a dumb question.
Yeah, I mean, it is a dumb question. But he's right. At the end of the day, there's literally one team that hoists the championship. You have a 1 in 32 odds when you start the season of your team winning the championship. And the chances of your team winning that championship suck, dude. Like there's not really a whole bunch of opportunity that you're going to get for your team to do that, right? So for me, I've always been that way, right? I've seen the Cowboys win 3 Super Bowls. If you go by the odds of the 1 in 32, I've already beaten those odds. I should have seen, 3 Super Bowl wins in 96 years. I saw them before I was 11. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like I've been happy with what my team has been able to do. I love being able to see the way that other teams win and doing all this stuff. The Patriots obviously breaking the mold here, but to me, there's one winner and 31 effing losers. It doesn't matter if you made the Super Bowl or not. You lost in the damn Super Bowl.
This is true.
But I guess. Wow, I didn't think about that. I forgot about that. I forgot that Kansas City lost to Tampa Bay. So I think what you did was a defense mechanism, and I just shat all over you. My bad, guy.
Now,
My bad.
Invoices in the mail, sir, for paying the extra.
Ruley's asking, going back to basketball, as a Chicago Bulls fan, I'm stoked about seeing Jimmy Butler versus D. Rose. That's a Bulls win on the low. Dude, Jimmy Butler is so damn good.
Yes.
So once again, like I love basketball. This is one of my favorite times of the year, right? Like the NBA playoffs, the hockey playoffs, all of it, dude. You got the NFL draft, you got baseball underway. I'm one of the few people where I actually pay attention to every single baseball game. I love me some baseball, but basketball season, basketball playoffs, man. What Jimmy Butler is doing, just carrying the entire franchise of the Miami Heat further along in the playoffs than what they should have been. The dude is phenomenal, and I'm finally, in my mind, I've seen the conspiracy theories on TikTok that he might be Jordan's son. Just watching the way that he turns the switch on, it might fucking be true, man.
I mean, is that a bad thing?
No, because I mean, the dude, like, obviously you're never going to be Jordan. Like, Jimmy Butler's not Jordan. Let's just get that out there. But just seeing the way the dude plays, he's got that extra chip on his shoulder. I don't know if you saw the documentary with Jordan. I've always talked about this on the shows, right? Jordan making up shit that people said to him so that he can just have extra fuel to just beat the living dog shit out of him is so sociopathic that, that gene could get passed on to Jimmy Butler.
part of that may also be Michael Jordan would drink a lot before games.
And smoke cigars and gamble and just be an overall degenerate.
Did you ever... You've heard the story of Michael Jordan golfing and just getting completely hammered, right?
Oh, 100%. Oh, well, you can't just walk away and tell me what is it? What is that?
Milkshake porter. I don't know. Milkshake porter.
Milkshake porter. Okay, wow. Danielle, our lovely assistant for today, Travis's wife, was able to bring me a brand new beer over here at Servaes. And once again, the address for Servaes is 10921 Johnson Drive in Shawnee, Kansas 66203. Look at me promoting things.
Jordan gets wrecked playing 36 and losing 36.
What do you mean?
Holes of golf.
Oh yeah,
It's 18.
yeah. I mean 100%.
So gets completely just wrecked drinking, and I mean and it's like a $50,000 bet or something crazy. And it was double or nothing. I get a triple tonight and score like 47 points. And the guy's like, sure, sounds good. You've been drinking all day, of course.
Yep.
So by the way, the game's in 3 hours. Good luck.
But that's
no money paid.
Yeah. That's the legend of Michael Jordan, though, right? Like,
Yes.
could you imagine? I look at Jordan as like our version of Babe Ruth, like the basketball Babe Ruth, right?
Absolutely.
Could you imagine what
Absolutely.
Jordan's numbers would be if he wasn't the degenerate that he is, right? like imagine what Babe Ruth's numbers would have been if he didn't like drink whiskey and smoke cigars in the batter's box as he's getting ready to hit the damn ball.
Okay, let me ask you this: how often do you bowl or play golf? Because these are two sports that I've never heard you talk about.
Okay, so I don't bowl
I consider
a
them
lot.
lifestyle sports because you know, yeah.
So like I'll go to Top Golf, right? Like, so my thing, okay, I'm conscious of my swing.
Okay.
I want to perfect a golf swing, and I realize that you will never perfect a golf swing before I get on a golf course.
So here's the issue. I've already realized it. It's the same as Michael Jordan. You get a little bit of swing oil,
there we go.
a couple cocktails in you.
Oh yeah.
Your game's gonna get better. Your swing is gonna
Dude,
get.
You see me at Top Golf, and like I'm left-handed, right? So I hold, and I'll like I'm out there hacking.
You're chopping wood.
So I whenever I make contact, beautiful. The sound of it, everything's just fucking amazing, right? But then I get a couple of drinks in me, and I'll say, okay, I'm looking at the clock. We got about 20 minutes left. It's time to hit the speed round. So I switched to right-handed. I don't know if I told you this or not. I'm ambidextrous. So I can write with both hands. I can throw with both hands. Whatever I need to do, I can do it, right? So whenever I start swinging, but I mean, hey, it works, right? She's like, yeah, Danielle's left-handed. She's doing everything with her right hand. But like my right-handed swing, man, that thing, like once I'm lubricated, I'm good to go. That thing is just powerful and it's hitting everything I needed to do.
That's what led to the Jordan success. You think that it was because he was a degenerate that he didn't put up crazier numbers.
Yeah, which is insane to think.
No,
about.
I think it's because he was a degenerate that he put up the crazy numbers that he did.
I think about this.
He was able to get out of his own head.
Whenever it comes to Jordan, think about this. The guy played 15 years, right? Drafted in 1984, the year that I was born. I don't know if I told you, I'm born on Jordan's birthday in his rookie year, right? So drafted in 1984, retires 2002, 2003-ish, right? But retired twice in between. If he doesn't retire, that scoring record for Kareem, unattainable, right? Because Jordan's just out there averaging 30 points a game in 1998 like it was nothing. At 36 years old. Then he goes to the Wizards at 40 years old and averages 27 points a game. And I just think about it, like what that record would have been if Jordan was like, you know what, instead of retiring, how about I just keep playing? Because that guy was just a machine.
What would the White Sox have done?
What would the Birmingham Barons have been without Michael Jordan being on their bench? You remember that summer that he spent in the Arizona League and he hit 400? Hey, Michael Jordan was great at baseball, too.
Let's talk baseball. You and I got into a conversation yesterday. You want to address?
Well, I want to talk about this that we got from Rulis saying that nobody is as good as they are in golf. It's fine. I've like everyone always talks about their golf game. They're nowhere. It's like fishing, right? I caught a fish this big and it winds up being
absolutely not. Full disclosure, 100% honesty. My golf score and my bowling score are near identical.
300,
105.
So my bowling score, like I'm actually decent at bowling. I just get self-conscious of it because I've got a weird
drink enough.
Well, I've got like a weird baseball swing, right? So whenever I hold the bowling ball, I actually bowl right-handed. So I hold the ball up like this, and I wind up putting my elbow out hard like that, like a lefty on it, and it just looks like. And what it reminds me of is like Bill Murray and Kingpin. I just picture my hair just waving up in the air all over the place as I'm like, yeah. I just need a rose in my bowling ball.
Is that real?
What?
Not the ring, the hand.
The hand? No, the hand's not real at all. I had a bet that went sideways. Yeah, I'm the rubber man.
Rubber man, that's what it was.
And then Ruler's asking Tip, who is the GOAT? I mean, that's a loaded question, man. Like, what sport are we talking about? It is.
And here, okay, so
if we're talking about baseball or basketball, it's obviously Jordan. Obviously, like there's LeBron. You're going to have all the records. You're going to have all that. You did not change the game the way Jordan changed the game.
I want to say something in terms of
of
addressing the phrase the GOAT. Last two letters, all time.
All time.
All time.
All time.
So there's it's this and it's period.
Yeah.
GOAT for basketball, Michael Jordan. Period.
So just to play devil's advocate, right? We look at Jordan and we claim him as the GOAT because he won 6 championships. He did all the stuff that he did, changed basketball forever, right? What about Bill Russell, who has 5 more championships than Michael Jordan?
But
5 more. Like LeBron's championship reign plus Jordan's.
What's notable?
He's Bill Russell.
I mean, but
one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
But I mean, like, if you had to say what's above and beyond.
Oh, I know where this is coming from.
Where? I'm just saying. Yeah.
You're from Missouri, or you're on the Kansas side, right?
Yeah.
That's where you are?
Yeah.
Wilt Chamberlain. You don't like Bill Russell because of Wilt Chamberlain. I got it right now. I have dug through the Travis Stoner hard shell, and I found it. Is that where this comes from? Is that where the vitriol towards Bill Russell comes from?
No, I'm just generally asking, what's the above and beyond
for Bill Russell?
Yeah.
The dude was a defensive stalwart that shut down Wilt Chamberlain, one of the greatest players of all time. He averaged 50 points a game. Anytime they played against Bill Russell, he shut him down despite having 12 inches almost on Bill Russell. And then Bill Russell, every time that they played against each other in a championship, won the championship.
But I'm not saying Wilt was the GOAT.
Well, no, but I'm saying like if you're looking at
if you want to talk about bagging ladies.
Oh yeah, I mean the 20,000 plus. Yeah. That's Those are some GOAT numbers right there by Bill Chamberlain, laying the piping them down by Wilt Chamberlain.
I knew a lady. She was in her 70s, 80s. She went to I didn't know her in that manner.
Wow, my guy.
And she actually went to KU during the Wilt years. And Wilt would sit behind her, and she said it was the funniest thing she ever saw. She said, "Here's this man sitting behind me." And she was, maybe 4'8".
And he's 7'1".
And here's Wilt. And Wilt's sitting behind, and she goes, his elbows, when he sat down in the lecture hall, would go up to his chin. Or not his elbows, his knees would go up to his chin.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, it was the funniest thing I ever saw.
So one of my good friends, he actually used to play in the NBA. His name is Ryan Hollins. He does the color commentary analyst for the Houston Rockets. Shout out to my dude, Ryan Hollins. He's a certified 7-footer. Right? And just seeing him having to walk in through most doors and having to duck and do all that stuff. And I am by no means a short dude. Like 5'10", I'm 2 inches taller than average, right? But I stand next to this guy. He's got a full foot and then some on me. And you don't realize, a foot's this, but it's also this, right? You stack it up.
I had a very good friend in high school. And I'm 5'11", I'm 6 foot on a good day, 6'3" in heels on a Saturday night. This guy, 6'10".
Yeah.
And I mean, and like I said, very good friend. So we would, Friday nights running around in high school, the two of us would go out, and this guy's got a head plus some above me.
We've got a couple of messages here from DeLeBlanc 044. To get GOAT experience, we'll take Mike T to a Jayhawks game in the fall. There's nothing like Allen Fieldhouse. I've actually, I love basketball, right? And I've been the type of person, whenever I lived in North Carolina, I wanted to go to Cameron Indoor. Not necessarily Carolina. I'm a Carolina fan, but I wanted to go to Cameron Indoor to watch Carolina and Duke, right? There was a 20-year wait on those tickets. That was not going to happen. But, I'll watch college basketball because there's nothing like the NCAA tournament, right? And whenever I see Kansas play, I think of the history of Kansas, right? Dr. James Naismith is coming down here, the guy that made basketball.
Literally created the sport.
And, you think about Wilt Chamberlain, you think about Danny Manning, you think about, those great KU teams, when Roy Williams was a part of the team, right? And then he goes to Carolina and wins those championships as well. There's so much history. And, I look at the, whenever I'm watching ESPN and I'll see what they do with, Allen Fieldhouse, where they show, the aerial shots, the inside shots, and you just think about all the history that's there, man. You have no idea. I was, driving through stuff, I was oh, shit, this is where KU is. Because of how much I love basketball.
We're only a half-hour drive.
Yeah. I even thought about it, too. I went through somewhere, and I was I saw some, bigger things. I was is this Manhattan? I was I don't know where K-State is.
So that's Manhattan, but, yeah, when you came in, you wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I wound up being Wichita.
Yeah, Wichita.
Because my geography with Kansas is none.
Wichita State actually has a solid program.
The Shockers.
Yeah, the Shockers.
I just wanted to say, right? The Shockers. Danielle's going to hate me at the end of this.
2 in the pink, 1 in the stink, right? 2 in the goo, 1 in the poo.
I'll just leave you there on your own, man. That's Travis Stoner, ladies and gentlemen.
You haven't heard any of these?
I have.
Oh well, yeah.
It was implied when I did this.
I thought we were just gonna go on a look.
You don't know what it takes to make me feel uncomfortable, and you were like at that threshold of making me feel uncomfortable.
11 minutes ago, I wanted to start talking about baseball.
And we just buried baseball, by the way. Well, so Travis, what was it that you wanted to talk about with baseball?
God, we can't even segue that easily, can we?
Oh, I don't do segues, my guy. I just no, this is what you want to talk about? Cool, let's talk about it.
No, so I think the future of baseball, I think, is an important conversation. You and I talked about the cap being a possibility.
Okay.
I think no longer being able to buy teams. Let's look at football. Let's look at basketball. Let's look at how many teams carry so much dead cap.
Oh yeah, and that to me, like that's what I love about baseball, right? Like you don't have a salary cap, and everybody thought, especially in the late '90s, early 2000s, the Yankees were just going to run away with everything because they are the most valuable franchise in that sport. And then you look at teams like the Red Sox, you look at teams like the Dodgers that have spent so much money on payroll that it really hasn't panned out, right? The Dodgers consistently number 1, number 2, number 3 in payroll, won championships since the late 80s.
These are teams that single players are making more than other teams' entire payroll.
I went through with your psyche again.
You did.
You're a Royals fan.
You did. Yes. My sports loyalties have always lied geographically. Do you understand that is 30-plus years of heartache all around?
Well, I mean, the Royals have won a championship.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have won 2 championships. KU has won a shit ton of championships in basketball. What are you complaining about?
Look, you know how many bad Royals years I've put up with?
Okay, yeah, that I will agree with, right? Like, trading away Carlos Beltran.
I was there when George Brett.
They had Johnny Damon.
George Brett hit his 300th hit. I was there. I was a Royals fan. 3,000th. Sorry, not 300.
I was about to say, wow.
Yeah, 300.
You lied to me about your age, huh?
Yeah. When he had his 3,000th hit, I was there. You understand that? That's a huge deal. That's a huge player. That's a huge name. Not to win a World Series during that time.
But they made it to the World Series.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, so once again, going with like your logic.
In the 90s Chiefs era where it was playoffs, Colts knock us out.
I would say anytime you can bring up the 90s Chiefs and you got to remember Elvis Gerbach, like I feel bad for you, right? But like,
let's not talk about Joe Montana either.
I mean, Joe Montana got you to an AFC Championship game, man. So yesterday I was thinking about it, right? You had brought up all the quarterbacks that your team went through from the 90s and all that, and I had to think about it. What the Dallas Cowboys quarterbacks that we went through, going up to Tony Romo, right? Ryan Leaf, Vinny Testaverde, Drew Bledsoe washed, Drew Stanton, former New York Yankees third baseman, Quincy Carter, Rodney Peete.
Let's not forget that you got Matt Castle after we
Clint
got rid of
Storner.
I know I'm getting ahead of the game.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just looking at this. Like, look at that list of people. You guys have lived a pretty charmed life, man. We got Romo, then went to Dak Prescott. I think we're okay. Dak Prescott has tiny little hands, so he won't be able to ever hold on to a football. Cabbage. Oh my God! You never heard me talk about? Oh no, I don't know my demographic here.
No, it's cool.
Okay, Travis, so I'm gonna whisper into the mic real quick. Yeah, is this part of Trump country?
Well,
I'm worried about what I may or may not say. I need to make sure I don't get lynched because I remember the Missouri Compromise.
So it's gotten a little more purple here.
Okay,
and we're in District 3, which is a blue. It's a blue district.
Legalize marijuana. We've got some abortion.
No, that's on the other side. Yeah, you get a shmortion and legalize gambling.
Gambling.
We got to go 7 minutes that way for legalized marijuana.
Okay, I will be going 7 minutes that way. I forgot a battery. I bought a cart, but I forgot a battery.
6 minutes is where the gambling stops. We gotta wait at the crosswalk for a minute. and then your schmortions and your gambling is no longer legal
But
but
marijuana.
yes.
Okay, because what I was going to say, Travis, is going to be, Trump's also got tiny little hands, like just like Dak Prescott, and like his hands are, super tiny, and he can't hold on to a football. Led the NFL in interceptions despite only playing 12 games, which was insane. And like to me, I don't even know what my overall point was, but just Dak's got tiny hands, I guess, is all I'm trying
This
to
is
say.
a segue from baseball salary cap, and then somehow we end up on quarterback talk.
I love baseball, but I can't like it's too early for people to care.
It's like, what? It's
Especially when you're talking about the
it's
Kansas City
end of
Royals.
it. Well, look, no, we don't have to.
You're like, please don't.
I've told you I will proudly say I love my Royals
Oh, don't say that proudly.
all of the month of April.
And then the rest of the stuff comes.
May through October. I'm like, yeah.
Like I just, but I mean that's a Royals thing, right? So we'll talk about. I know you wanted to talk about a little more whenever it comes to like salary cap and like the impacts and stuff like that. So what is it that you wanted to talk about? Because I look at my New York Yankees, spent a lot of money in the early 2000s. Yeah, they won those championships. 03 and then, or not 03. Wow, 2000. Then 09, but have nothing to show for it, right? You look at the Dodgers spending all that money, all that time going through it, one championship to show. The Red Sox, yeah, they won 4 championships, but a lot of that's because of Moneyball type stuff that they do as well.
But that's what you have to. I mean, like
Yeah.
that's how the game's evolved, and I think that we're running into a situation now where we're seeing a pitching clock. We're seeing
So, what do you think about that pitching clock? Like, what do you think about the way that the direction that baseball has gone over
Honestly,
the last couple of years?
I like the idea of the pitch clock, but you and I grew up in an era of single pitchers
Going full games.
going full games.
Yeah.
We
I'm
grew up
trying to
in
get this mic fixed.
If you remember, Nolan Ryan's seats had to be moved
Yep.
because every time a starting pitcher or even a relief pitcher was called off, they were told, hey, like he was yelling at him. He was calling him a pussy, and he may have been a little.
But Nolan Ryan's a Texan through and through. Like we act that way.
Well, he was a
Yeah.
he was a hoss all day long.
Oh yeah.
I love a single game pitcher, but we don't. We're also in an era now where we won't see single game pitchers anymore.
I want to give a shout out to Maya and to Love Tina who are tuned in. We are now live on TikTok. We should get some love from TikTok. Let's see how that goes. We're all over the place. Travis has no idea how I run my show because he's always been on the opposite end of it.
Well,
he's never been on this end of it, seeing the chaos that it is that I create.
I've been over here a couple times.
I mean, you've been on the show once.
I've been on studio. We've been in studio together
once.
We did a couple pods together.
But I interviewed you.
Yeah.
You said that yesterday too. Whenever you found out stuff about me, you're like, I've always been on the opposite end of the interviewing process. But so we're live on TikTok right now. Shout out to everyone that's tuned in.
Should I
over
share
there.
my secret shame from last night?
Do it.
Of the pictures that we took while walking around the draft, and you and I ended up back at Boulevard, and we sat down, and I said,
Hey, this app's been a lot updated since the last time I posted a picture. I don't know how to do that.
Facebook, yeah. And I also wanted to say this too. I don't feel so bad about that because I want to think of you as a younger person, Travis. And it's only the older generation that's always posting on Facebook, right? So, even me, I'm posting more on Instagram, I'm posting more on TikTok, more on Twitter, doing all those things. You've got to be a certain demographic with a lot of gray and white hair in your beard in order for you to be like, you know what? I love me some Facebook.
Honestly, the only reason I Facebook social media at all is
Thank you for the likes.
Is marketplace stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of wheels and deals can I find?
I saw I was about to buy an F-350 off the marketplace because I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace oh, wow, they've got this beautiful drive up to Truth or Consequences to pick up an F-350. Because why the hell not,
Why
man?
not?
And those that don't know, once again, Truth or Consequences, some random-ass place in New Mexico.
It's only a 3-hour drive.
See, and that's the thing. People told me, going back to resetting the show, doing all those normal things that we have to do in radio. Whenever I drove to Kansas City, that's a 15-hour drive.
It is 13 and a half.
It was 15.
13 and a half.
I did not want. Once again,
With the kids, 13 and a half.
once again, difference in skin tone. we can talk about all that all we want. That's a real thing, my guy. Right? Like you drive 120, you might not get stopped. I drive 120, I'm getting deported, even though I'm an American. Right? Like that's just the way that it goes.
Look, I mean, like heading out, I'm rolling up 54, and I got Danielle and the kids asleep. I'm like, hey, no, everything's cool. Danielle's like, what? No, we're all everyone's American in the car.
Once again,
No, it's fine.
once again, me by myself.
Also, this is
in a Mustang GT.
This is I hit those guys super hard.
Okay.
Like you think this Midwestern accent is something,
I don't hear an accent with you, man.
and I don't know that I.
You don't have the Midwest.
Honestly, like
what does a Midwestern accent sound like?
I don't know because like I don't I feel like it's comparable to like an El Paso English accent.
El Paso doesn't have an accent. Let's be honest. I have the most, like, for anyone that's from El Paso, I have the most accent, and I don't even sound like I'm from El Paso.
See,
I just have a weird accent.
So I'll hit those guys at the checkpoint super hard. It's
I want to hear it. I want to hear it now.
When we leave, so we usually leave like 5, 6 in the morning to head back to Kansas City
Uh-huh.
for the 13 and a half hour drive, so we can be home by 7:30, 8 o'clock.
I love it. You keep driving that 13 and a half.
And
I will beat it.
I will roll down the windows, and here they come out. They've got their coffee because it's 65 degrees and they're freezing.
Cold.
Morning, guys. Yep, nope. Everybody's American. We're good. And just
So I told you yesterday I'm adopted, right? I was adopted
part
by
of the onion.
I was adopted by some white people. My mother was 54 years old whenever she adopted me. We were moving mobile homes at the time, and like once again, I can grow a full beard in like a day and a half, right? And I had that thing fucking nice and thick. I mean, I'm hanging out with Destiny. We're doing our thing, and we go through the Border Patrol checkpoint, going to Alamogordo on US 54, and the guy asked my mom, because I'm in the back seat and I'm laying down, who's that guy? And she's like, that's my son. The guy made us go over to like the side, interviewed us for 90 minutes to make sure that we were actually related. And whenever I told him, I was like, dude, I'm adopted. He's like, there's no way that they would not adopt you. I was like, why would they not adopt me?
I thought I'm a good-looking guy.
My friend, why would they not
Why would they
adopt me?
not?
Right? Like, so that's why I'm like, you know what? Anytime I go anywhere, I gotta be a little more careful than most. Like, I might hit a little, 115 or 120 going through whatever way I can if I got a nice straightaway in front of me. But most of the time, I'm just 10 and 2, hanging out, having me a good old time because those are my experiences. Anyway, once again,
I've gotten more tickets than I've gotten out. That's all I'm gonna say.
no, I'm gonna say, like, I know that that's the truth, right? Like, that's 100%. But once again, we are over here at Servaes. It is an absolute amazing brewery here in not Kansas City, but close to Kansas City, right?
Sean,
Right,
yeah.
it's basically right there.
Yeah. So like I told you when you came up, Kansas City is it's as Kansas or Missouri, depending on which side of the line you're on, as El Paso is Texas. So Kansas City is made up of several smaller cities. You've got your core Kansas City proper, but then just several small metros around it.
Yeah. We were told that our beer is getting warm. I know you've gone through 3 of the 4 flights you have.
I guess I'll finish the
I
last
can't
one.
remember what the name of this porter was, but Servaes, awesome beer that they've got over here. The purple pineapple is really good. The lager that they have there, number
I've been
1, was
digging
really
on
good.
The bourbon series, which is a new one, just released today, is what I'm going to finish up on.
I should punch you in the face because you did not tell me I love bourbon. And I was told nothing.
There was a GD board when you walked in.
Once again, I was born to lead. I was not born to read. Okay? Language barrier. Let's talk about that, huh? You going to hit me with that guy?
Same alpha characters. It's not.
Mais je parle français en beaucoup.
It's still same alpha characters. It's not like it's not like one's Russian and the other.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
Still same alpha characters. Bitte.
There's another language I can get here. Hold on.
Mein Deutsch ist langsam.
Longazer.
Langsam.
Yes. Quadrilingual over here.
Longasm is something
Yeah.
for the evening.
It's long and they gaze them. Okay, so we've been doing this for quite some time. I might find an end to the stream here. Maybe we can find it. I just want to give a shout out. Daddy, chill. I want to give a shout out to everybody that tuned in, the various people on TikTok, on Facebook, on Twitter, Twitch, blah, 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 Instagram. Thank you all so much for being a part of the show. Travis, thank you for the hospitality that you've shown me out here in Kansas City. It's been an absolute blast. You have no idea how excited I was to know that the NFL draft was coming here to Kansas City just so I can come up. It's a city I've never been to. Right.
Next year's Detroit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna get the credential, so I can get the credential. I don't know about going to Detroit. So anybody who sees this eventually in the future, because I am gonna cut things up, tell me what to do in Detroit, and we will debate whether or not we go.
I've got some Detroit. We can chat.
Oh,
I actually do.
This is an after show chat.
I actually do have some Detroit contacts.
Well then, we're gonna have us some little fun in Detroit.
They
not that far from Chicago, right?
Not that far from Canada.
Oh.
It's across.
Je parle français en beaucoup.
Not that
J'adore. J'adore
not Quebec.
Oh.
So it's English Canada. It's
sad.
Yeah, sorry.
But it's Canada. Canada.
Sad.
I got nothing but love for you, Canada.
8 out of 9 provinces
Travis,
aren't Quebec.
Travis, my
12 out of
dude.
13, I don't know.
I got nothing but love for you, my guy. Kansas City,
Absolutely, sir.
I absolutely love. I love this place. I'm going to come up here and visit as much as I can.
Please, thank you.
The NFL draft has been an absolute amazing experience coming out here. Servaes. I'm digging the vibe of this brewery here. Once again, come check them out if you're ever in the Kansas City area. It is Servaes Brewing Company at 10921 Johnson Drive in Shawnee, Kansas. I am all about it. Come on out here. Check out the great beers they got. They got the bourbon flight that Travis has tried right now. They got porters. They got lagers. They got all kinds of stuff. Come check them out over here at Servaes Brewing Company. Travis, I got nothing but love for you. I'm about to go get me some drinks before we go to Travis Kelce, or maybe we might just fuck up Kansas City. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm in.
But whatever it is, you know I'm down for it. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you all next week or later on this week. God knows, whatever time I might.